Up, here we go. Um, I'm my sincere apologies. I had my phone on and my laptop. I cut off my phone and didn't realize it cut me off here. So please forgive me. We have nine on. We have about maybe five or six more to come on, including Abiodun. So bear with us and we will get started. We'll have Abiodun create the introductions and we'll move forward from there. How does that sound? I'm excited about being with you. It's middle of the day for me here. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And so, yeah, it's evening for you, but it's afternoon for me. But it's a pleasure to be with all of you. So we have everybody joining back. Okay, I am still looking to see if Abiodun will come back on. I'd like him to start us off. So wonderful. Everybody's on. So while we're on, you can put it in the text. The Just let me know where are you from in your chat. Where are you from, and what is your major goal? Where are you from, and what is your major goal? If you let me know. If anybody wants to open the mic and express that, that would be great. But if you feel uncomfortable with that, please feel free to put it in the chat. Ooh, excuse me. Did not mean to sneeze, but apparently I had to. So I already told you I'm living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My goals is to get you to your goals so we can move forward from there. That's a great thought, huh? Okay, well, we will get started. So, my name is Loretta Green Williams. I am the founder, chief executive director, and board president of Women of Concerned Professionals and Strategic Conscious Networking. I think that if I can share anything with my goals and objectives are, is to share how the organization evolved and how just an idea can formulate to a global component that can make change. The organization actually started on LinkedIn as a group organization. And several of my friends came together and said, we need to do more with this project. And so we went to a community And we asked them, it was interesting because the project manager, we scheduled a meeting with him and he asked us, what can I do for you? And I shared with him that is not our design. Our design is to help our community. What can we do for you? And if I were to ask a question, and Esther, thank you. You're from Uganda. Your goal is to become excellent educator and leader in your field. I say yes. Excellent. And so we're going to talk about how you decide what you want to do, but how do you get there? We're going to help you get there. And so what we're sharing at this time is the vision was to be able to create a platform that any community can do it and grow. And so what that means is you have to identify what your mission is, your goal is, and your objectives are. And we're going to talk about your mission, your goals, and your objectives. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. So one of the things I want to share is like Esther said that she wanted to be an excellent instructor. Well, what does that mean? What is identified as excellence? Who identify excellence? And how do you get to that space of excellence for yourself? Okay. Vanessa is from Uganda. Her goal is to master, learn new skills. That's excellent, to learn new skills. Buy her juice. Oh, you have a juice business. We need to talk. I came up with an idea with juice. I love making coconut pineapple water for my daughter. So we call it Mama Lo's pineapple water. And so that's something I think I want to do when I get older. I'm 72 now. I'm too young to do something like that for now. I need to wait until I'm older. But that is one of the things that I want to do. You know, I have these fantastic dreams. Why not? Right? Why not? We have Negaya, you're from Uganda. Excellent. Maria, she's looking forward to gain a lot. Well, I'm excited to give you what I have. And so we have others, and I love put them in the feed because we're going to talk about that. We're going to stay connected and to help you achieve those goals. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about leadership, gender equity, why it's important for that. And I was stating is we'll start with a case study. A case study is an example. So we hear this big word, case study. Ooh, all it is an example. And the difference between an example and a case study is how it's presented. I'm presenting this from a business academic perspective. Now, how is it that I can provide this? Those that are looking to achieve greater economic relationship through business or business relationships to develop economic development, it is really important that you understand the importance and the impact of developing that construct. So in the case of WOCPSN, our case study is when we did go to the city manager's office and shared with him how we can provide something for him, and he wasn't sure what we could provide. We knew we had something in common with all of us. We had a skill set that collectively created and established something greater than he had. We had our pulse on the community. While he was community manager, he didn't understand the complexities of the communities that we came from and the conversations that we have at the grassroots level. So that is the essence of WOCPSN. We start at the grassroots level. We ask the key question: what is it that we want to achieve? That's the first one we ask. What is it that we wanted to achieve? And what we said we wanted to achieve was helping other women achieve what they want to achieve. So now, what is important about that statement is we did not come in trying to pull something for ourselves. What we did is we had a collective knowledge, a collective relationship of understanding that we can provide for others. And that's been the foundation all along. How can we help others get to their goals and objectives? Why is that important? Because what our mission is, social economic sustainability. So the only way we can help others get there is by pulling our heads together and saying, well, I know this and I got that, and you know this, and you got that. Let's put that together and see what we can do together. Because there's power in numbers as well as safety in numbers. And so the first thing we want to do is, when you look at your goal, how are you going to build that leadership alliance? How do you build leadership in equity? So we're looking at our goal. And the goal is, what is it that I really want to do? And you've expressed how some of us want to be criminal lawyers. We want to be a better leader. So let's break that down for us. For someone who wants to have a profession and someone to be a personal, better person, the combination comes when you take your goals and objectives, which is your moral and ethical framing, to develop your direction. Now, why is it that you have your goals, you have your moral and ethical framing for your directed? Because your ethical framing is your values, your core values. The core values of WOCPSN is gender equity and equality. Now, that's massive. But the reason why you want it to be that massive is because then you could break it down on how you want to achieve that. So the individual that wants to be a good leader, study better, be stronger in something. Those are your core values. Your core values is your internal relationship of building who you are as the individual, or who the core identity of the organization. Those are your core values. So now you have your goal. You have your core values. What do you do with your core values? Your core values become your mission. Your core values then become your mission statement. So when I look at my mission statement, like, well, if my core values is that I want to be a leader, a good leader, I want to be stronger at what I do, I want to be more skilled at what I do. My values is because in me as an individual, I want to strive for greatness. And I know internally that means a lot. Internally, what that means is I know I'm going to have to put in 15 hours a week, for example, just reading books. I know that. I'm willing to make that sacrifice. For my core values, I'm willing to sacrifice something. I might have to sacrifice the time I give. I might have to sacrifice going places. I might have to do these multiple sacrifices. But the important things is those are the things that I find what? Valuable to me. That's my core values. So again, the case study, for example, using WOCPSN, the core value is gender equity and equality. So what does that mean to the organization? What is it that we need to ensure that those values set into place? Why are those values important? Because in communities, because we address specifically women and girls, we have to consider how we're going to create platforms so we can move forward to help women and girls build their communities. And one of the things the core value is important is that's your integrity. Your core values, your integrity, your morality. And that's important because that's what you stand on. Now, we're all over the world. And everyone knows if you call on us or do something, we will come forward because that is our core value, our ethical understanding of who we are. So now, the mission statement, our mission is to present active approaches to community development and social economic sustainability. Now that sounds like, woo, exactly. Your mission statement generally is kind of very general because then as you build your platform, even in yourself, that's how you break it down. Now, when we start to break it down, the active approaches to community development, we have four platforms, four pillars. Those are our principles of practice. What those principles of practice are, that's what we do. It's what we do. And in those principles of practice, we say any community can do it. We'll give you the framing, you work through it. Now, the principles of practice are really important because they moves the mission forward. But guess what is under the mission? Ethics, morality. Those are our core values, that core within that gender equity and equality. So what you have to do, remember, set those goals. I hear you. Those goals are high. But then you have to break those goals down based on your personal self. What are the sacrifices you're willing to make for those goals? What are the sacrifices you're willing to make for those values inside your goals? That's your personality. That's your character. That's what's going to make you stay in place and do what needs to be done because you have to. Now, in our platform, we call it the not. When you cannot not do what you got to do, you just cannot not. You have to do it. You just have to. That's your passion. You're compelled to. That's a key, to be compelled to move forward. So once you establish that mission, and like we did, we have the four pillars. They're under the UN SDGs: community development, women's health, education. Under education, we have sports, and global sustainability. Now, technically, that's the whole platform of our organization. It doesn't have to be difficult. And I'm sharing that with you to let you know. You don't have to build this elaborate platform to do the work you need to do. What you have to do is build a plan. Now it starts to get some meat to it. You have to build a plan. So what should your plan look like? So I'm going to hold off on giving you that. Share with me, anyone that's in this communication community. What are your goals? You shared it there, but now that you heard what I just said, open up those mics and let me hear your goals. And then from the goal, tell me what your core value is. I don't need a lot. I need one goal, one core value. Let's talk. Well, you've already expressed the goal. Some of you already set the goal. Someone's goal is to become an outstanding human rights and criminal lawyer. That's your goal. Who was that? Who said that? Who typed that in? Because my finger's not moving. I'm sorry. This is Emma from Cameroon. You said, and I'm going to pick on you now, your goal is to become an outstanding, you didn't say just a human rights and criminal lawyer. You said an outstanding one. Okay, so your goal is to become a human rights criminal lawyer, but you want to be outstanding. Share with me, based on your goal, what is your core value that's going to make you outstanding in what you want to do? Open your mic, Em. Are you still here, dear? So I'm asking Emma to unmic. So it might be a while before she gets the.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so Dambaya. Okay, so Esther. Okay, so share
Yes.
with me. Okay. So what is it that what is your goal?
Okay, my goals are I want to be a child protector, someone who's going to fight for the children's rights. Yes, in a leadership concept and a perspective, because women are known to be fearful and not good in leadership, but through this cohort class, I want to be an outstanding child protector. And then my core values, number one is consistency in what I'm doing. Yes, because consistency is so good. If you want to achieve something, you have to be consistent about it. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So Esther, stay on. So now that it's consistency, what does that mean? Consistent in what?
Consistency. Consistency basically means is to persist, continue doing it, even if it makes no sense, even if it's not working, even if you fail, you continue standing until you pursue your goal, until you reach your dream. So
Excellent.
consistency basically in time, being time a good time manager, consistency in the activities you carry out, and every other aspect.
Okay. So stay with me now. You want to be an excellent educator. What does that mean to be an excellent educator? Right there, you have how you're going to achieve it. You know why? In order to educate others, you have to be educated. And because you have that consistency, that means you have to constantly study. So now the next thing you have to do is list what you're going to study, how much time you're going to put in that study, when you are going to put the time aside to study, what books are you going to begin to study with, how many books do you want to study in X amount of time, when will you determine that you have completed enough on that to go to the next and repeat and cycle repeat? Isn't that powerful? Repeat cycle.
Yes, thank you so much. That is
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, actually, currently I am done with my studies and I've pursued a diploma in children's rights, child development, and all that. Yes, and the books that I have to read concerning my area of specialization, books concerning children's rights and how best the children be handled. Yeah, the holistic growth of children, and that is to my area of specialization. And then also the fact that that area is so sensitive, it requires a lot of time, giving it time, because children are so vulnerable at the young age, so they require a lot of reading, a lot of research. So you make research from websites, from people that have made it in that area, fix more time to read, make more research, apply the research you've carried out, see your areas where you need to improve, and also if maybe you fail at a certain area, still you make research and see how you can improve it best. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So, one of the things that we have to be clear, and it's so important, write it down and make it plain. Every week, I have a list of what I'm to do to achieve the final goal. And I check it off. I check it off every week. And what I don't accomplish, and as a matter of fact, today is my day to do that. And when I don't accomplish what needs to be accomplished, what I do is I go back and put it to the following week until I get them all done. So excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So what I want you to look at is when you write down that you want to be an adjective, outstanding, upright, all those adjectives, break it down and identify what that means, because that means that's the time you're going to put in to get to where you want to go. And you have to make sure you are committed in that timeline. So we already established our goal. Yes, we have established our goal. We've already established that the fact that we understand that we have to set the time aside, which are our core values. And the core values are important because people watch you through what you do, right? Right? They watch through what you do. So there has to be that consistency. The consistency comes because you're always doing it, and then it becomes routine. It doesn't become a hassle. I'm so used to doing it. That timeline is always there. Now, the reason why it's important that we write it down is because then you can see your progress. Sometimes we'll get frustrated when, well, I'm doing this and I don't see any progress. Write it down. Okay, I'm putting 4 hours this week in reading 3 books. And I got to page 40 in one page, 60 in another page. Write that down. Because the following week, if you read another 20 pages out of the book, now you could go back and see your accomplishments. And that's important. So what you have to do is keep yourself motivated. You know, sometimes you got to bless yourself. Sometimes you got to say, girl, you know, this is hard, but we can do this. Come on, come on. You know, it's like, I know this is a challenge, but I got to get it done because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for others. And then this next step is once you've accomplished that, what you want to do is create your own personal mission statement. It doesn't have to be a mission statement for an organization, but what is your mission statement? You know, my mission statement is to be able to encourage and motivate others. It's simple. That's what I want to do. To be able to encourage and motivate others. That's my mission. That's it. So then I have to ask myself, well, how are you going to do it? Well, on a daily basis, what I do is I ask how I can do that. So I'm going to talk to 4 people today, and I'm going to share with them whatever I'm going to share. That's what I'm going to do today. Set personal goals for yourself and allow them to happen. Does that make sense? So if we're looking at that, let's go back. Does everybody have your paper and pen, or you got your phone on you? Because I need you to start writing stuff down. And then I need you to send it to me because I want to see this. I'm going to go with Brother Abi, and we're going to make sure you fulfill these goals and objectives. Abi will tell you, I will call you and call you and call you, and reach and reach and reach. So what you want to do is at the top of the paper, I want you to make a box. And in that box, put goal. And in that box, put goal. And once you put goal in that box, right underneath under goal inside the box, write 2 of your goals. And they don't have to be immediate goals. They could be long-term goals. Now, while you're doing it, I'll share with you why I said that. Every month, what I do is I do a 30-day. What I'm doing with you now, I do every month. And I have immediate goals, which means that's my goals for the week. My mid goals is every 30 to 60 days. My long range goals are 60 to 6 months. And the reason why I do that, because I'm very visual. I have to see it in order to achieve it. If it's in my head, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I got to write it down. And what I'm doing is I just make these little arrows to get me to where I want to go. So once I wrote my goals, what I'm going to do is draw a line down and then draw a line to the left. And on that left, make a box. And in that box, right in that box, core values. And in that core values, write three things that you believe are your core values. And you can pull your core values out of your goal. Like if you want to be an outstanding educator, and I'm writing in my core values to be outstanding, then under outstanding, I have to write what that means. What are you going to do to become outstanding? Well, to become outstanding, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I'll give you a minute to write that. And then what we're going to do is draw opposite that a line and make another box. And on that side, we're going to write when we want to do some of those things. So if I said I'm going to read a book, because to be outstanding, I have to read. And I have to read, and I got reading, it's a book or an article, it could be anything. So on that other block, I'm going to go 3 hours a week to read. Okay. Now you see how that works? Now what I'm going to do now is we're going to do breakout rooms. And you're going to go into your room. It'll show up and it'll give you the breakout rooms. So room 1 will be Deborah, Bia, and Patricia. 2 will be Emma, Naaska, Sophia. 3 will be Efewani, and I'm sorry, I can't read. Hinosen, Alashu. Forgive me. Room 4 will be Atalantu and Vanessa, and room 5 will be Pania, but Pania, go into room 4 because I don't have, somebody just dropped. So I'm opening all the rooms. And I'm going to sign you up to join. Share with each other what you just did. How did we do? So who's going to take the lead for room one? How did we do?
Oh my.
All right. So who was in one? It was Esther and Alice, Patricia. Who was in room one? Were you able to get in? How about room two?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
This is
So
this is
share. Okay. Share with me what your room talked about.
well, me and my partner were a bit confused, like we missed out, so we didn't
Oh,
really got the exercise. So I was finding out from her, but I discovered that she too was a bit cut off, maybe with maybe network or so. She did not really get the exercise we're doing.
okay.
But for me, if I from where I ended, I got about the core values and your goal. The part which I got was talking about your goal and being able to bring out your core values from the goal.
Okay. Okay. Why do you think the core values are so important?
Yes, my core value is important because that is what presents me to my that's what presents me to the public.
Yeah.
Whenever they see me, they should see the value without me saying a word. They should just see it maybe in action or what I do. The value should just speak for itself.
Yes.
So that's why a core value is very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is very important. Excellent. Excellent. Anyone else that had was able to get into their room and make a discussion? Anyone else? Okay. All right. So we're getting it. We're getting it. Do you and you understand the importance of the impact, which is really, really important. So what I would recommend you do next in this platform is you've taken the courses, You've completed the courses. Did you get what you needed to get to where you want to go? How will the coursework help you achieve that? That is the key. Because that is going to motivate you to go to the next level. One of the things with the organization that is critical is I've been a little slow about doing it, but we're going to get back on track, is having training sessions. We all should be in the space of teacher-student. Even with my background, I still take classes. I still study because I have to study to show myself approved. And so not only do I have the ability to teach, but I have the ability to receive. And that's the key, to receive. As you grow as an individual, as you build this character, these core values, you have to allow yourself positioned to receive additional information, to take more in so you can move into the next level. And that's really critical. So one of the things to share with you why it's important is I get a lot of information on LinkedIn. And of course, since we start on LinkedIn, that's our mother lode. We live on LinkedIn. But one of the things I do receive is a lot of information from nonprofit organizations that's always providing us with additional information. And I'm always reading it. I want to hear what's going on in the latest language, latest platforms, what people are saying. And that's really important. But what's even more critical is how they're saying it. Okay, so people say a lot, but how are they saying it? How are they presenting their conversation? How are they presenting themselves? And so to help you grow that professional growth, you have the certifications, you've got training. How do you move to the next level? You move to the next level by the experiences that you will have in the process of training. The easiest way to train yourself is just to get in front of a mirror. Watch yourself present. Watch others that you admire the way they present. Perfect. I do it all the time. I watch people who make these major presentations. They go, oh, well, I like that segment. I like the way they move their hands there. I like the way they stood there. I like the way they presented the presentation there. I draw from everything around so that I can be better at what I want to do. So that is extremely critical, that you get to the point where you can look at yourself critically and help yourself grow. Use your phone, which is hilarious. I crack myself up. I record myself and then watch. I go, oh my goodness. But it's the best way to learn. Because as you were saying, how you present yourself, that's your presentation. How you convey the message is critical. And that's the easiest way to help yourself grow. If you're a little nervous about talking around people, just talk your presentation in front of friends. Create a presentation and present it to friends in your community. Allow them to hear you. Allow them to see you. And as you do more of that, you will become stronger and more confident. What that'll also assist you in all those books you're reading. Now you got to remember, oh, wait, page 35 says so-and-so. Let me paraphrase that in my conversation. Let me share that. Let me reference that. Yes, which is really critical. Now they call it receipts. Actually, what it is context setting. Context setting is important because it's the information that you've acquired, and you're supporting that conversation based on what you've read and what you know through that reading. Does that mean you have to say it verbatim? No, you don't have to say it verbatim, but you need to know how to paraphrase it and reference it. According to so-and-so, it stated, I believe, start studying the different ways of presenting your conversation. That will help you grow in your professional field, particularly when you want to hold positions that you will be in the public eye. Very, very important. Do you have to have fabulous clothes? No, I don't have fabulous clothes. But they're cute. And I like them. And I feel good when I put them on. That's good enough. Because then when I step out, I'm exuberating the confidence that I feel. And that's important. So now I'm going to open up the questions, comments, and concerns. And then we're going to hand it over to Abiel. So share with me, what questions? You got me? Questions, comments, concerns. Okay. Abi, the floor is yours. So we'll have to wait for him to open up his mic. So we'll wait for him to open up his mic. He's having a bit of a challenge staying on. So I need you to write this down. WOCPN, Women of Concern Professional Strategic Conscious Networking, at gmail.com. I would like for you to send me this information so we can talk about it. Also, definitely, I want you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Now, I'm going to share with you why that's so important. 98% of all businesses globally find you on LinkedIn before they find you anywhere else. So you might have Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and the other social medias. But when it comes to business, they're going to go to LinkedIn first. So it's important that you build a strong LinkedIn platform. And what we'll do is, I know Abby will have me back, and we had a class on that. We'll do that again on how to build your LinkedIn platform to help draw people towards you. That's very critical. There was a young man, as a matter of fact, he was in starting college when he and I met on LinkedIn. Now he has his own business and he's doing very, very well. And it's so exciting to see where he was 20 years ago, where he's now with a family and building a company. And it's just encouraging to see that. And so you want to start making those alliances. So as you move through that business career, through those professions, that you have people that can support you, write letters of references for you, give you referrals, things of that nature. And to share with you about WOCPSEN, as you know, this September we will have our Professional Women's International in Barbados. The wonderful thing about it is we've got a program set up. We'll help you pay for the cost. If any of you want to talk to me about how we can help you attend, please reach out to me, reach out to Abby. We can give you that platform to see if we can help you to come. And next year, the PWI will be in the UK. 2028, PWI will be in the United States. 2029, PWI will be in Africa. In 2030, PWI will be in Jamaica. So we are planning 5 years out already. And so please go to our website, WOCPSEN.co. Please feel free to look at what we're doing. If you want to be a part of us, the great thing about this, you all get official Jazzy J's membership, which is our young professional women's and men 1 year membership with us, which is wonderful about that because there's a lot that we do that you can be a part of, and that'll help move your career as you get to know other young women globally. Some of the other things we're doing on August 22nd, we're having our second annual Junior WOCPSEN Diaspora Lit Fest. Last year we had 6 countries reading, young people from all over the world. We're excited about that happening this year. It's generally from 4 to 18. You might be a little old for that, but you got sisters or cousins or somebody who might want to read from a book. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it. We had a great time. Abi, are you able to speak now? So we're still waiting for Abi to open the floor. So while we're waiting for Abi to open the floor, share with me some of the classes you've gone through, um, how they have motivated you. It's really important that I understand that you understand. So what are some of the classes you've taken and how have they inspired you? I want everybody to unmute. I'm asking it. There's 16 on here. Let's all unmute and let's chat. Abby, you're open? Okay, great. Take the floor, please. So Abby, we can't hear you for some reason. All right, so Abioto's mic is open. For some reason, we can't hear him. But that's okay. That is okay. So the key to this and the importance and the impact of what you do can shift a personal life, a community, a nation, a country, a continent, the world. That's what your impact can do. And you have to realize you as individuals, you have all of that inside of you. You have the potential, the ability, and the capacity to do it. And so now keep yourself motivated and go do it. Okay? So thank you very much for having me. I always enjoy when I have these opportunities to speak to this wonderful platform that Abiodun has created. And we thank you all for being here today. I want you to have a wonderful evening. You have my email information, do you? Let me put it in here because I want to make sure that I hear from everyone. 1 second, I'm going to put it here so you have it. This is the Gmail address. And you know you can find me on LinkedIn. I live on LinkedIn. Yes. And so please, I need you to reach out. If I can ever be of service, of help, that's what my job is, to serve, to be of service. And I'm grateful every opportunity that I get. So are there any comments, questions, or sir, before we close out? All minds are clear? Everybody feels good? You got work to do? Wonderful. So that little diagram I talked you through, and for those that were able to get into the your breakout rooms, I'm glad you were able to get there. And so I want you to send that to me so we can help you grow that. That is the start. And it will help you grow. Trust me, I do it. Matter of fact, when I get off this call, I'm going to do it for the week. I'm going to get started for my week so I can do mine to make sure that I can be the best I can be. And my core value at best is service, to serve and service. That's my core. Thank you so very much. Have a blessed and wonderful evening, a blessed week. Abby, as usual, I love you much. I thank you so very much. Be blessed, everyone. Take care.